Let me introduce here this about this particular chapter. So till now, D365 Champs have few of the chapters that are being present, but from this time onwards, we wanted to explore more areas in the major cities, and in order to get the talent from it. So that's why we have started from Thiruvananthapuram chapter. So many people might have not heard about Thiruvananthapuram. So Thiruvananthapuram is the capital city of Kerala. So you might have heard about Thiruvananthapuram before. So we are bringing here from Thiruvananthapuram. It is a new chapter from the south region, and we have Nijo Joseph, who is an Microsoft MVP, and he recently added as an lead to this D365 Champs community. So welcome Nijo, and stage is yours for you to take forward.
Thank you, Venkat. I think we have people joined, so we'll start with our session today. Once again, welcome everyone who has joined for the session. People who joined the community events are actually the backbone or inspiration for us to continue with more events. And community is about sharing and learning together. So again, once again, thank you all. So we'll just go through the agenda of the day. So today's agenda is we will give a very short brief about ourselves, what is Champs, what are the activities we are doing, and how we can connect with us. So I'll give you a short introduction. Then we'll share some of the news and upcoming events in our domain. Then after that, the main event, Mustafa will start with his session about custom pages in model-driven apps. Then we'll have a Q&A session. Once the session is over, you have enough time to ask questions, or if you need more details, you can ping in the chat. So let's about Champs. This is a high-level overview on the timeline of Champs. Champs was started in 2018 with community leads who identified for the need for a local community and organizing events and learning, growing the dynamics and as well as Power Platform, the Southeast Asia. And in 2019, 10 leads teamed up and started the first chapter in Singapore. And it's a community event, so it grown dramatically, or with a lot of support from the community and expansion to other countries. And in 2020, members and leads were from many countries, including Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, US, UK, and many countries in India as well. And in 2022, today we have around 7.5K members, followers in LinkedIn, and we have a membership from 1,000+ members in Kaizala, and it is still growing, and we are expecting more people to join. And by end of 2022, we are gonna reach kind of a biggest community, non-Microsoft community in LinkedIn space. We are already, but I'm just saying, so we need more support. And in future, we are planning for more vibrant events and initiatives, not only just sessions. We are planning for other events so that we can help each other to learn and grow together. So that's all about us in a very short nutshell. So these are the medias for you to connect with us. We are in LinkedIn, we are in Twitter. You can scan the QR code for Kaizala, and we have our own website. So feel free to connect with us any of these platforms and interact with us, or we can encourage how you can participate or involve in the community activities. So that's all about us. Venkat, up to you.
Yes. Can you go to the next slide, Nijo?
Sure.
Thanks for your intro. Yeah, if you wanted to speak at our D365 Champs Power Platform Meetup, then you are just a step away. You can use these URLs that are presented here, and don't think that if these URLs not are handy, just you can reach out to any of the leads that are present in our social handles, whether it could be Twitter or the LinkedIn, and also these are the two areas where you can URLs that you can use it. And next slide, please. Yeah, so coming to the quick updates, like we have the few updates that are present. So recently the access migration to Power Apps and Dataverse is released to the general availability, where it opens the number of doors for the office, the people, and there are still number of businesses or industries are still using the access. So for them, it opens many doors for it. So that one particular feature, it is becoming general availability. And also there are announced new data sources that are present for virtual connection provider. And also another thing like analyze model driven apps and Microsoft Dataverse telemetry with application insights GA. So this is also now it is in the general availability. And there are many important changes are coming up in the Power Apps and the Power Automate and as well. So stay tuned for the Microsoft Build event, which is going to happen in the May 24 and May 20, from May 24 to May 26 on this month. If you have not registered yet, you can register at the Microsoft site. And also there are few other updates like we have the latest videos that are present in our YouTube channel. And while going with this particular session, I'll be going to share the respective handles details, social handles details in the chat window. And we do have the latest International Women's Day session that was happened, and the recording is already available there. Yep. And also, we thanks to our sponsors, the Dynamicity. So just give some introduction about Dynamicity. So Dynamicity is a trusted Microsoft Dynamics and Power Platform partner, and it has an huge exposure and experience in implementation, upgrades, and managed service and training. They are known for it. Their training. If you have any things that are present, like if you have any requirements and all, then don't hesitate to reach out to Dynamicity like that. So with this, just I will give my the stage to Mustafa, who is our current uh, meetups speaker. So Mustafa, it's over to you.
Mustafa, your mic is muted.
Sorry. Thank you, Venkat. Thank you for the quick introduction. So before we dive into the session, I will just quickly introduce about myself.
Yes. So 1 minute, Mustafa. So Nijo, you can stop sharing and Mustafa will start his sharing.
So you can share your deck.
Yep.
Okay.
I hope that you guys can hear see my screen.
Yes.
Yes. So, well, my name is Mohammed Mustafa. I've been working and learning Dynamics 365 and Power Platform for the past 4+ years. Currently, I'm working with Metadata Technologies as a Dynamics 365 consultant. So these are my LinkedIn profile and my email. Without further ado, let's quickly move to the agenda. So today I am going to introduce to you the introduction to the custom page. After that, we will have two demos. One is for custom pages. Second one is basics of modern command designer. After that, we will discuss about the advantages that we are while using the custom pages. So basically, what is a custom page? A custom page is a new page type within a model-driven app which brings the power of capabilities of a Canvas app into the model-driven app. So Dynamic 365 custom pages allow us to build pixel-perfect responsive Canvas pages inside the model-driven app. So custom pages can be used to open in a full-screen page inside a model-driven app, or else we will be able to as a dialog pop-up, or also we will be able to as a side pane. So this new page can be more flexible than our existing classic forms, views, or dashboards inside the model-driven app. So basically, what is a Canvas app? I believe that most of you guys is already know that Power Apps Canvas apps are best known for its ease of use. You really don't need to have a developer or coding experience in order to build a Canvas app. You'll be able to quickly build an app with the easy drag and drop components and other tools which is readily available. So you can easily build an app to integrate the business data that you need without any coding or technical experience. So now let's quickly move into the demo before we are discussing about further details. So so for today's session, what I have created is a sorry. So for today's session, what I have created is a simple e-store management app inside the CRM. So basically, what will I have created two new tables. One is for brand. Brand means we are going to store the brand details, just brand name. After that, I have created another table called models. And basically, what model is storing is that mobile device details with how many stocks that are currently available in the system. With these two tables, I have created a custom page which is called mobile inventory. So mobile inventory will list here is that it will list on all the current stores that is currently available in the system with basic details of an image and the brand name and model name and available stock details. So this is a full page canvas app that I have created for in order to open model driven app. So basically, what the other things that I have done is that we will be able to navigate to our classing form from within the canvas app. So if you click on model, we'll be able to create a new model record. If we go back, if you click on an existing record, it will open the current record inside the CRM. Okay, so basically now let's dive into how we will be able to create these type of pages. For that, what I will do is that I will just move it to make.powerapps.com. For that, I have already created a solution which is called eStore. So inside that, I have already created an app which is called eStore Management, which I have already demonstrated with you. So I'm going to open that app. Inside that, you'll be with the new release, you'll be able to open it, which is called editing preview. Editing preview means you'll be able to update the app with the new latest model-driven app editor, modern app editor, which is called by modern app editor. So inside the modern app editor, you will be able to preview your app inside the design itself. You will be able to navigate to the model apps and all inside the editor itself. So here what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add a new page using this add page button. Inside this add page, you will be able to add the existing view or form or existing dashboard, which is the new option is available is custom. So I'm going to click on custom and click on next. So here I'll be able to add an existing page which I have already created in the system, or else we'll be able to create a new one. I'm going to name it as inventory info. I'm going to add it. So while clicking on add button, it will redirect to our canvas app designer. It's basically pretty much the same of the Power Apps canvas app page. So by default one screen will get created. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add another screen on top of it. So I'm going to add plus button. After that, I'm going to add a layout, which is basically called vertical container. So after adding this container, I needed to align and make the same pretty much same as the already existing page, which is screen one. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to change this X and Y axis of this page to 0. Then I'm going to change the Y as 0 also. So now the page will align with the base screen one page itself. So after that, I need to change the height and layout also to the parent. parent page, which is screen one. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to select height and parent record height. So it will align with the parent record itself. After that, I'm going to change the width also to parent record. Now we have added a container. So after that, what we need to add is that we need to add another container to store this mobile text field. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is we need to add another container. For that, I am going to change it height to I'm going to change this flexible height parameter. After that, I am going to make it as 50. So on this container, we need to add a color to this container. So we'll be able to select a color. Let's say I'm going to add a blue check. So it will change the color to that container. After that, what we need to add is that we need to add a text box inside this. So I'm going to add a text box inside this page. So here you could say that it is added inside that container itself. So I'm going to change this parameter like font size to 13. After that, I am going to change the font color. Before that, we need to make the text box center aligned. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to align the height as flexible stretch. So after that, I'm going to change the width as flexible width. So it will align entirely with the parent container. So after that, I'm going to format it as centered. So in order to do that, I just need to click on this text box. Sorry, actually, we just we don't need to add a text box here. We actually what we require is that we need to add a label here. So after that, I'm going to change the container to stretch and height as flexibility. So it will align with this. After that, I'm going to change this alignment to centered aligned. So after that, I'm going to change the label to let's call it inventory details. After that, I'm going to change the font to much bigger font. Then we can change it color to let's say white. So what I have added now is that I have added just a label in order to show there. Now what we need to add is that we need to add this container like actually what it is called in Power Apps is a gallery container. So we need to add this container to our page. So in order to do that, we need to click on plus button. Then we can add a vertical gallery. So in the vertical gallery itself, we'll be able to connect to different set of data sources. We will be able to connect to common data service. We'll be able to connect to Azure. If you need to connect to other data sources, which is like Amazon Web Service or some other types, we'll be able to connect to that data source also. For this particular page, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to connect to our CDS brand page, not the brand page, models page. So basically, while we're adding that model page itself, since I have already created a field code image with the type of URL, here you can see that. Inside the model page, I have created a particular field code image with provided as a URL. So by default, when we creating an app, when creating an app with an URL, it will automatically map that particular URL field to that article. If you need to change it, we will be able to change that also. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to increase the we need to increase the size of this particular container. So what how we can do is that we need to select this gallery container. After that we can change the template size to, let's say, 100. It will make it bigger. After that, if you, let's say, if you need to change this particular field to another field, or else what we can do is we can concatenate two fields, like we need to show the brand name as well as model name. So we can concatenate that. Brand. Since brand is another relationship, brand is a lookup record, which is basically a one-to-one relationship to another table. We need to select the name of that. From there, we need to select the name in that entity. Here it is name. So we are going to add a space in between that. So we have added that. Similar to lines, you will be able to map another set of fields, like if you need to change this to storage details, you just need to select that. So basically what we have created now is that we have created a label. After that we have created a gallery control. Let's say now it is showing us this, right? One particular item in a single row. Let's say if you need to change that to column, what we can do is that we just need to select the wrap property. Now it is selected as one. That's why it is listing one item in a single row. Let's say if you need to change that to, it will list as a two. So basically what I'm going to do is that here in our page, actually what I have done is that I have made this mobile inventory page more flexible and more flexible. Like if I change the screen resolution of that particular page, it will the details will align based on the screen size of that page. Here you could see that. So we need to dynamically pass this screen size in order to make this flexible. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to change the wrap-count properties as parent screen size. So here parent screen is screen one size. Now it will align based on what we have. It will align based on the current device's screen size. Let's say now what I need to do is that, let's say if I need to create a new record, but I need to navigate to create a new record in the system. So in order to do that, what I will do is that we will create a plus new icon. I'll add a new icon here. So I'm going to change the color of that particular icon. Let's say white. After that, I'm going to align it properly using the flexible function. Sorry, height function. So basically, what I have done is that I have created now new icon to this. So on select of that icon, what I'm going to do is I am going to navigate to the creating a new model record in the system. Basically, this particular record. To do that, what we can use the navigate function. Navigate of to defaults of model. So while we adding this power effects query, what will happen is that while clicking on this particular button, it will navigate to the default form of this particular model table. Okay. Let's say if I'm going to click on this particular I need to add another type of events. Like if I'm going to click on any of this gallery item, we need to navigate to this particular record. So in order for that, I'm going to select this gallery container. After that, I'm going to select property. Select. Select of parent. We're going to select the parent. So let me just quickly see what was that address. So select of let's check that later. So before moving further ado, we can now quickly save this particular page. So I'm going to set the name as inventory info itself. After it is being saved, we need to publish this particular page in order to access in our model driven app. So now it's currently being published, saved. Now it has been saved successfully. After that, we need to publish this app. I'm going to publish this particular version of this app. So after publishing this page, one of the most important step that you need to do is that you need to republish your model driven app in order to access your canvas page. So I'm going to save this app first. After that, I'm going to republish it. This is an important step that you need to do, because if we save your canvas app and publish it off, if in order to access it in your canvas page, you need to publish it again. So after that, I am going to refresh my screen. Here you could see that new page is being added here, which is called inventory info. Let me just refresh it again. Now you can see that we have our newly created page is accessible here. If you click on this plus button, it will navigate to the default from this particular record. So basically, what I have demonstrated right now is a full screen canvas page. Similar to this, we will be able to create open a page in a dialog pop-up. Similar to that, we will be able to open a canvas page in a side pane also. So in order to demonstrate what I have created right now is that I have created two new buttons inside this model home grid. One is called top selling models. So while clicking on top selling models, a new page will list on in the side pane of our model driven app, which will basically list on the top selling models inside that inventory. So I will just quickly show how I have done that in the system. So in order to do that, what I have done is that I have created a new another app which is called top selling models. So basically, top selling models it's also I have created a similar type of page which I have already demonstrated with you. What I have created is I have added a main container. After that, I have added a gallery controller. Inside that gallery controller, I have filtered those data using the PowerFX query. Here you can see that I have filtered the model records where number of items sold should be greater than 50, and I have sorted that field by number of items sold. So basically, what will happen when we are opening this? What will list on only the only the model records, which is number of items sold is greater than 50. Similar to like this, you will be able to create your own custom logic, and you will be able to open number of records. If you have any other business scenarios, you'll be able to open it like that. So basically, what we need to do is that we need to create a page first. After that, we need to save and publish. After that, we need to publish our custom page. Sorry, model driven app also. So after that, what we need to do is that we need to go back to our app. And we need to open our app in our modern app designer. Now it will list on the tables that we have already created. Inside that, while clicking on the model table itself, now you could see that one command is right, which is called edit command. While clicking on the edit command button, now it will open the new modern command designer. So we will be able to select our main grid or main form or substitute view here. So I'm going to select main grid itself, and I'm going to click on edit button. So actually, what you are showing in the screen right now is the new latest modern app designer. Sorry, modern command designer. So basically, in the one of the main disadvantage of this is that we won't be able to update any existing button which we have already developed using our legacy designer. So in order to update or use the new modern app designer, so modern command designer, you need to create a new button. You won't be able to update any existing button. So I'm going to create a new button here, new command here, which is called open. Let's just name it as open inside pan. So here in our previous classic command designer, we will be only to run JavaScript inside that. But one of the latest features that we have that Microsoft added to this command designer is we will be able to run PowerFX queries inside the command designer. So on select, I will dive into that later on the session. Now let's focus on how to open the particular or custom page in a side pane or in a model dialog. So in order to do that, what we need to do is that we need to create a JavaScript for that. I'll just open it right now. Okay. So what I have done is that I have created a function called open top selling model. We say that I am going to use the xrn.navigation.navigate to function in order to open our custom page as a side pane. So I am going to set the target as 2 and position as 2. So what I have while putting as it is like this, what will happen is that the page will open in a side pane. So if you put the position as 1, what will happen is that it will open the page as a centered dialog. I'll just show that to you how we can open that as a centered dialog. Here I also added another button called update inventory. So it will the update inventory. What will basically happen is that I have added the few fields inside the model entity itself, model table itself. So we'll be able to access those information, and if we need to update any data, we will be able to update that. So this is a model pop-up, and the previous one that I have showed you is a side pane. So in order to open it as a same way, what we need to do is we just need to change the position to 2, then it will open it as a side pane. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to select this. I have already saved this particular script inside our CRM, which is basically called I have already added a script, a resource as a script, which is called model script.js. So, yeah. So we need to open that particular script. After that, we need to you need to select the function name here in order to open this particular function. So I have added that. After that, I am going to publish it. So once it is being published, I also going to add a new icon to this. In order to that, we'll be able to select as use icon function. From there, we will have a different kind of icons that is already available in our system. For the time being, I'm just selecting one of the item. So once it is being after it is getting published, we just need to refresh our page. And you can see the button is visible right now. We just need to click on opening sidebar. Then it will list down that page. Our pages or custom page is opening as a sidebar. Similar to this, we will be able to open it as a send out dialog. You just need to change this particular target to 1 in order to open it as a sidebar. So before we dive into another page, I will just quickly show you the other type of page I have already created in the system. So which is called inventory update. So what the inventory update is actually doing is that will be able to access the dynamic 365 table fields in order to create a create a form inside our custom page. So basically what I have done in this particular page is that I have added a main container. Say that first container and I have added a label. After adding another container, what I have done is I have added a new set of type called basically a form. Now I will just quickly add that. It will be available in the layout, or else just search for the form. Now you could see that you'll be able to add an edit form or display form. Now I'm going to add an edit form here. While selecting the edit form, you will be able to connect your instance tables. Let's say I'm going to click on model. I'm going to add the data as model. Here, I'm going to select as model. So inside the button, by default, some of the field will get created. We'll be able to change that particular field. Let's say by default, some of the fields get already added to the form. If you need to add another set of fields, let's say I'm going to add in. I'm going to add the number of items all to that particular field. We'll be able to do that. Then we just need to add it. Number of items is already available, right? After the similar to this, we will be able to select our custom system fields inside our custom page. We'll be able to add. So after that, in order to update those, if you made any changes to a particular field, if you need to update those changes, what you need to do is that you need on click. We are going to add another. We are going to add a button on top and below of that particular fields that we have already added to the page. After that, we are going to add a button. Let's quickly add another button here. So I have added a button. I have added another button here. After that, what we are going to do is on click of that button, we are going to submit this particular form here. On click of this button, we are going to submit this form. Basically, what the form is that here it is form 2. So on select event, what I am going to do is that I'm just simply submitting this particular form. So I'm going to select one select property and I'm going to submit form of font. So by doing that, we'll be able to access this inside our form. So I have published this particular form. After that, we just need to refresh to get these changes. So while selecting this one particular button will be visible right now, we will be able to open these records. Okay, now it's getting refreshed. Let me try that again. I'm going to select the update inventory. Now you will see that some kind of error is there. Let me just quickly check that. This is equal to So in order to access this information, what we need to is that we also need to set the record ID to this particular record. So in order to do that, inside this page itself, so what I have done is that I have added another button which is called add 100 units. So inside that, on select of that button, what we can do is that we can use PowerFX query, which is like we are going to patch this record. We're using the patch function. So what will happen is that it will patch the model record with the ID. ID will basically the ID will be self.selected.item. Instead that, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to update the total stock to 100. So I'm going to publish this right now. Before that, I need to change the visibility to show only when a particular record is selected. So in order to do that, I'm going to change the count rows. So now it will visible only when one record is selected. So I'm just publishing that right now. So what will happen is that while clicking on this hard 100 units, so basically what we need to do is that we need to publish this app again. So after refreshing it, once you click on this button, you can see that now button is visible. So when we clicking on that, what will happen is it will update a particular field in the system. So similar to that, we will use multiple number of queries. We will just using the PowerFX query, we will be able to directly update any particular record inside the CRM without using any additional script. Okay, so that's it for today. So do you guys have any queries?
So I think we don't have any queries from the audience. It appears they have understood more, and I think uh, there are a lot of things that has been you have explained in an easier and a neat way. So Mustafa, so just while you are building this one, right? So I have one question like, what are the challenges that you have faced it and how you have get rid of them?
Yeah, one of the main challenge that I have faced is that basically we won't be able to use all of the we will be able to use most of the options that is currently available in Canvas app. So there will be some limitations while using this custom pages. Like we won't be able to use a complex scenarios or complex logics which needs to be implemented inside the system. Also, what basically, to my understanding, currently we won't be able to use any JavaScript functions inside a custom page. So that is the main. In order to update or patch any records, we need to use the PowerFX query itself. Similar, but in the HTML web resource, what we can do is that we'll be able to use custom scripts. So currently, it is not available to my knowledge.
Okay.
Also, in the PowerFX queries, some of the function is currently not supported. It is already listed in the Microsoft website. I will share that with you.
Sure, that will really helpful. So are there any other questions from the audience?
Uh, Hi, Venkata. There is one question from my side.
Yes,
So,
Vivek.
if to be given as an option where all the scenarios where this particular custom pages can be used, like a use cases, if there can be, where all places it can be used. One I saw it is a dialog box. Okay. The other one could be like some pop-ups, right, or the right side pane. But other than that, any other use cases where this can be used?
So Mustafa. So PowerFX. So by using this PowerFX custom pages, other than the side panes and the pop-ups, are there any other ways that you can use these custom
Currently,
pages?
only 3 items is support. We'll be able to send a full screen page. We'll be able
Okay.
to use a model dialog, and we'll be able to use a side pane. Only 3 is supported.
Okay. So I hope Vivek that answers to your question.
So Mustafa, one quick question from my side. It is very quick question. So do you see in, few years back, we used to use HTML web resource to build up some kind of a gallery or the item you showed. That's
Yeah.
what that is our only way to go if the client demands something like that. So do you think we can completely avoid the web resources, custom HTML page inside the model-driven app with this one, or are you seeing any kind of, this is like, if I had to make a decision, like whether I should go with a custom HTML or if I should go with a custom page, do you have any guidelines or checklists? What do you feel about that?
What I think would, if we will be able, if we just need to show some drug codes based on our from the our database, I think we can get rid of the web resource and we can use the custom pages. If the business scenarios is having too many complex logics, like too many calculations and all, I think we still want to go with the HTML page itself. If it is just a not simple page, if we just need to show some data based on a query, some queries, we'll be able to use this. If it is having too much complicated logics behind that, I think we still need to go with web resource.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thanks Dipesh for posting an important link regarding this model pages overview, like the custom pages. So I think I don't see any other questions, Mustafa. So thank you, Mustafa, for taking this particular time, and we had a great learning today, and also our audience definitely have number of scenarios that were in their mind that they can explain to the customers if at all they get any kind of requirements. And so thank you, Nijo, for organizing this particular meetup. And also once again, thank you our sponsors, Dynamicity, for sponsoring this particular event. So I'm
Thank you, Nijo and Venkata, to organize this, and thank you, Mustafa, for a great session.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Mustafa.
guys.
Great session.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
all the
Dynamics Champs, for
Great
giving this
session, team.
opportunity.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.